since I was 4. And someday when I meet her, I'm going to wrap my arms around her and I'm going to tell her I love her. Because she loved me. She loved me enough to give me my life. And then she loved me enough to give me the next most special gift I was ever given. And that's my family. I'm the oldest of 8 children, 7 of us adopted. Every color of the rainbow in my family, we are the United Nations. Right? My mom's one of 12 children, 9 girls, 3 boys. 6 of those girls could not conceive. And out of the 87 grandchildren, 38 of us are adopted. And you should see our family reunion. It is the United Nations. It's awesome. You know what? I know that the gift of the amazing family that I was given was a gift from a very scared 15-year-old girl who most people would have said could have made a different choice and my life didn't matter. And she made a different choice. And I will forever be grateful to her for that. Students, I came to Wisconsin today and I spend 15 days a month away from the 13-year-old I love the most. He's mine. Because I wouldn't want anyone sitting in here listening on satellite to ever have to make a choice like this. I've spent 9 years of my life walking girls through this. There is no easy way out. The best choice is before you have sex. That's when you have a good choice to make. After that, it is going to get really tough. But please hear me tonight. If you, someone you care about, someone you go to school with, were to find yourselves pregnant, you didn't intend to be, please get some help, please. Do not walk through this alone. You are going to have to live with whatever you choose to do for the rest of your life. Here tonight is the Bay Area Pregnancy Care Center. Everything they do there is absolutely free and completely confidential. I know there's a crisis pregnancy center or 2 in Stevens Point. Make sure you get help. Get help. Pregnancy survival, though, we can live through that. Sweetheart, we could walk you through that. That is not the worst thing that could happen if you decide to have sex today. Far worse things than that. Today, October the 6th, today, in the next 24 hours, 14,000 teenagers will contract a sexually transmitted disease. Today. 14,000 more tomorrow, and those are the ones we're testing. It's nowhere near the teens infected. College students, in case you're here tonight, I noticed we passed a campus on the way here to the church. I have college students, so now this matters to me, and sometimes as speakers, that's the way we do it. We care about it when it matters to us. So I did the stats. When we include the college population, we have 38,000 newly infected students a day. Our university campuses are one big giant disease, which I have reminded my children of on a regular basis. 14,000 of them teenagers who got up this morning, and I know, said like somebody's sitting right in this room. What's not going to happen to me? Pam, that happens in Minnesota. Michigan, Illinois, scary places like Milwaukee. But we're okay here. We have a lake, trees. Doesn't happen in Green Bay. Wrong. In the 1950s, students, we had 5 sexually transmitted diseases we knew about and were treating. 5. You could count them on one hand. Go find a grandparent. Go find somebody who grew up in the 40s or 50s. Ask them. This will be a great dinner table conversation next time you're at Grandma's. Y'all try this. I want you to try this. Thanksgiving, make sure all the relatives are there. This will be fun. Grandma, were there STDs when you were a kid? Did people have them talk about it at school, at church? Did you have crazy speakers come to a church in your town and yell about syphilis for an hour in 1952? No. I mean, maybe a few people back then had an STD. They got a shot of penicillin, moved on. Welcome to 2008, students. Don't ever let your parents say, well, when I was young. Because you know what, parents? We weren't dealing with this. It is not to say, there's not enough money in the world to pay me to sit where my 8th graders sit, and I wouldn't trade places with them for all the cash in the world. I wasn't dealing with what he's dealing with. It's a whole new world. Welcome to 2008. We now have over 30 sexually transmitted diseases, 30% of them absolutely incurable. That means you get one of these diseases and you've got it for life. Which is a lovely thing, boys, when you're getting ready to get married. Found this girl you love. I mean, this is it. She's the one you want to marry. All those other girls, that was just messing around. This is the real thing. Pull out that diamond, look her in the eyes. If you're really cool, boys, you get on your knees. You say, marry me. By the way, I've got genital warts. You'll get it too, and we'll both be treated for the rest of our lives. In fact, you'll probably end up with a radical hysterectomy, cervical cancer, and possibly death. but marry me. Well, I'm excited now. Thanks for sharing. Isn't that what you want to hear from your future husband, girls? Lovely. HPV, genital warts, syphilis, gonorrhea, herpes, chlamydia, trichomonas, vulvodynia, arthritis, hepatitis B, hepatitis C, HIV, list goes on and on and on. Serious diseases with serious consequences. Students, AIDS is not the only disease out there, and it's certainly not the only disease that's killing people, and yet we have teenagers in Wisconsin who actually think, well, if I don't get pregnant, or I don't get AIDS, well, then I don't have anything to worry about. I'm fine then. No way. No way. Chlamydia, one of the most common diseases among the teenagers sitting here tonight, and yes, I said that and meant it. One of the most common diseases among the students sitting here tonight is chlamydia. This is a bacteria, not a virus. Easily treated and easily cured. If we knew you had it, we could help you. 7 days worth of antibiotics now given in 2 doses, and we can wipe this out. 2 types of STDs, students. If you have not yet had biology, or if you flunked, pay attention. You'll get a better grade on your SATs, okay? 2 types of STDs. This is not hard. Bacterial and viral. A bacteria is curable. There is medication we can give you. We can take care of that. A virus is not. You get a virus, you've got it for life. There is no cure. We have never in the history of the world cured a virus. Chlamydia is not a virus. It's a bacteria. It's curable. So what's the big deal? I'll tell you what the big deal is. And 90% of the teenagers sitting here tonight who have chlamydia, there are no symptoms. You can't treat a disease you don't know you have. We got thousands of teenagers out here having sex going, well, it's not bothering me because, I've had sex, but I don't have a disease. Never been tested, certainly not in the last 3 weeks, but I know I don't have anything. How in the world would you know that? Let me tell you something pretty safe to say I know about you. If there's a teenager sitting here tonight who's had sex, let me tell you something I know about you. It's true of students all over the world. It's not different here. You actually believe that if you get up the next morning and herpes isn't tattooed to your forehead, you don't have a disease. If I can't see it, feel it, or touch it, I don't have it. Pam, if I had a disease, I would know. My nose would turn purple, my ears would be red, something would burn. I would know. No, you would not. The only way you'd know is if you got tested. Teenagers don't get tested because you don't think it's going to happen to you. And you actually think if you don't feel sick, you're not sick. I was in the RCA Dome where the Colts used to play football. We had about 40,000 students that Saturday morning. And anytime I speak in stadiums like that, I'll have about 1,000 kids rush the stage afterwards going, Pam, you need to come to my school. When can you come to my high school? We had 8 girls pregnant. We have the highest pregnancy rate in the county. But I don't know anyone at my high school who's got a disease. Really? First of all, your friends aren't getting tested. And even if they were, do you think they'd tell you? Do you? Hey, girls, went to the doctor yesterday, found out I had herpes. Tell everybody by lunch. I would like the whole school to know, but maybe we could put it on the announcements. I'm working on this. Every high school I'm speaking in, I beg their principal, from now on at your high school, every Monday morning on the Monday announcements, the following students contracted an STD over the weekend. They are. People, that would be helpful. Then we would know. What did you think? Did you think you were going to show up the Monday after homecoming, walk the hallways of the school and go, purple nose? Did you see his nose, girls? He did not have that last Friday. Don't touch him. Herpes. I saw his nose. Do you think you would know what students in here are carrying an STD tonight? Because 1 out of 4 of you are. Think you'd know? Students, when you go to school tomorrow and you walk the halls, I want you to count. 1 out of 4 of the students you're going to pass is infected with an STD tomorrow. Know who they are? There's no way you'd know. American Medical Association released a bulletin last year. They said this: every teenage girl who has had sex must be tested for chlamydia every 6 months. Every teenage girl who has had sex must be screened for chlamydia every 6 months. Why did the doctors say girls? Why not everyone? Don't boys get this? Sure you do. Who in the world do you think you're getting it from, girls? Boys and girls both get this, infected, give it to each other. So why are the doctors only concerned that we're screening girls? I'll tell you. Ladies, listen up. Girls, you contract chlamydia 1 time in your lifetime, cured or not, and there is a 25% chance you will be sterile for the rest of your life. Girls, you get this disease twice, it jumps to 50%. Get it 3 times, sweetheart, and there is a very good chance you will never have children. We literally have hundreds of thousands of women entering their mid-20s going, I'd like to start my family now. I'm married, have a college education, finally found a good guy, done with all the messing around I did in high school and college. Now I want to be a mom. They try. They can't get pregnant. They go running to a doctor, he checks and says, my goodness, sweetheart, you've got all this scar tissue in your fallopian tubes, your ovaries, your uterus. You have pelvic inflammatory disease, PID. You had chlamydia or gonorrhea when you were a teenager. What? I had what? I had a sexually transmitted, how could I have had that? I didn't even know. Too late, girls. Sorry. It's too late. Girls, can I love you tonight? I need the girls in this room to hear me. Girls, that boy can dump you, break up with you, leave high school, go to University of Wisconsin, meet another girl, marry her, and have a family. This is absolutely not going to hurt him. Ladies, you're scarred for life. You have more to lose, girls. Please don't miss this. I am really sorry. Life is not fair. Parents, your teenagers still think life needs to be fair? Well, that's not fair. If the boys get to the girl, life is not fair. Ladies, we will pay a higher price physically every single time. Of the 30 sexually transmitted diseases, 26 of them primarily damage women. The other 4 damage both. Fair? Girls, I wish I could make stuff up for boys. You know, things that turn green, fall off. And if I could make it up, I would. That would be lying and untruthful. I have to be honest, ladies. We will always pay a higher price. And I know you think it's not fair, but in case you missed this in 6th grade human reproduction and anatomy, we're different. Boys and girls' bodies are not the same. Some of you are looking confused. You're scaring me. Were you all well aware of that? Didn't think I needed the PowerPoint tonight. Very good. Girls, we all have an open sexual system. The boys, the men in here all have closed sexual systems. Girls, we are easier to infect and easier to damage. It's the way we're made. Girls, we have to release an egg from an ovary that makes its way through a fallopian tube that cannot be scarred in any way. If that takes place, conception takes place. Conceived egg now is to attach itself to your uterine wall. There can be no infection or scarring of uterus. Saves you the nutrients it needs. Baby girls, for 9 months you delivered. It's funner in Spanish. He produces sperm. Big deal. It's not that hard. Okay, girls, your system is just a little more complicated. Now, I love doing this in a mixed group because my junior high boys, they're always looking at me like, will there be a test? Because she said that too fast. And my upperclassmen, usually when I do high schools, the senior boys have, for whatever reason, I think they heard it was a talk about sex, they're always sitting right in the front. And here's what all the upperclassmen, the older boys are all like, well, that's tough. You think that sperm thing's so easy? You just try that then. See, they let a woman speaker get up and talk about sex and she's just dissing men. What's wrong with you? Some kind of feminazi or something? Don't you like men? I like men. I married one. I have 2 boys. My oldest son is 21. He's a good kid. Yes, he plays Halo too much. He's a good kid. And I know you think I'm biased because he's my son. He's a good kid. And I get so ticked off when I travel this country and I listen to teachers and principals and coaches say stuff like this. Well, boys will be boys. They're all disrespectful. They just pressure girls for sex. And then I get worse ticked off if I hear a teenage girl say it. All boys want sex. They just pressure you and dump you. If you won't put out, you'll be dateless. And no one will ask you to homecoming. And you won't be popular. I have taught my son to respect women. If he does not, I will kill him. Those are his options. And I know that I am not the only mother in the entire nation who has taught their son what it means to respect women. So I'm about to say something really nice about a lot of the boys sitting in this room. So I don't want any boys with selective hearing. They'll be the ones going back home tonight, going on the youth group bus, going, that Pam Stenzal hates men. Did you hear the sex lady? She's a man-hater.